Hello, friends. Goddess of Fire back for another fire conversation. After quite a bit of a hiatus. My bad, y'all. I actually got the Rona, so I needed. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice. Now I'm at the phlegm stage. Probably too much information, but you know that's how we roll here. Hot topic today is Chiron stationing direct. Okay. Chiron is an asteroid known as the Wounded Healer. Okay, it's not necessarily a planet. Obviously, it's not necessarily a planet because I just said it was an asteroid. Welcome back, Vanessa. Um, but it is very, very important. It plays a very important role in our experience. And honestly, it might as well be a planet because we feel the effects of it just as much as we would from, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, all those other guys, right? A couple things before we actually bust down and get started, though. I swear in all of my readings, so if that's not something that you jive with, feel free to exit stage left. There are plenty of other tarot readers out there that do not use this colorful language as I do. No love lost. I sincerely hope that you find the guidance and the messages that you are seeking. Secondly, my readings are general. So it'll be one size fits some, one size fits most. One size fits one in certain instances, but it cannot and will not ever be one size fits all. So think of my readings as a dressing room. Take what fits and leave the rest behind. Okay, Chiron. For those of you that are not familiar with Chiron, Chiron was a centaur, as the legend goes. He was abandoned at birth and left to fend for himself. Dropping everything, running into stuff. And it was through his abandonment wound and, his difficult upbringing that he was able to kind of rise above and turn his pain into power and healing. It was his wounds that made him a powerful healer, a philosopher, a psychic, a teacher, hence the name Wounded Healer. And with Chiron in retrograde, you're kind of forced to acknowledge and heal the wounds that are being brought back to the surface during this time. Retrogrades are all about tying up loose ends. And then with Chiron stationing direct, we're now challenged to alchemize and to transmute that pain energy into a power energy and use this power energy to fuel us into the next stage. As you can see here, I've got a couple of oracle cards laid out, and that's just to save time off camera, shuffling and whatnot, so that we can just get right down into the meat and potatoes, the good stuff, right? So the top row is going to be the energy that we entered into this retrograde with. And the bottom row is going to be the energy that we are leaving this retrograde with as we are stationing direct. So let's go ahead and bust down and see what's going on with, what we experienced and what was being brought to the surface with this retrograde. So we pull darkness, or the moon card, which represents darkness. Then we pull the pressure card, which is about transformation. To me, this is like literally alchemization in picture form. And then we got hearth, and that's comfort. So that's really drawing us to our home energy, right? So with this moon and darkness card, this is really talking about how, through this, I don't know about y'all, but the last handful of months have been kind of trying, especially emotionally, healing wise. At one point we had, I think it was 7 planets in retrograde. So that's crazy. But this moon card is really just talking about the dark night of the soul type of energy, the dark side of the moon. This is tapping into those wounds, and kind of diving deep into that. And then with this pressure card, again, the key word here is transformation. And this is all about us. Sorry, I was kind of just absorbing a little bit, but this is all about, to me, this actually just looks like DNA upgrades. This looks like a lot of probably ascension symptoms we're being experienced through this time. And that can feel like a lot of pressure. If we are facing a lot of emotional pain and wounds and things like that, but then we also feel like, you know, we as individuals, like we're changing, we're evolving, right? And through that process, there's things that are going to be taken away from us. And I think that's where this hearth card comes from, the comfort card. We're having things that we were comfortable with being taken away from us, right? Because how are we ever supposed to grow and expand if we are staying in the same spot? You can't keep doing the same things and expecting different results, right? So I'm going to pull a couple cards to get some clarity on these guys. So with this Dark Night of the Soul card, what wounds were addressed? Five of Wands backwards in the reversal. This is all about internal conflict. That was a wound that was being addressed. And then there's the wound or the illusion that we were trapped. That we were trapped and stuck in the position that we were in. With this pressure card, hold on, that's not what this is about. And it felt like we were stuck where we're at. So with this Queen of Pentacles coming out, that's basically saying we felt like we were unable to manifest. Interesting. Which can definitely feel that way. When we're in a dark night of the soul, there is a lot of stagnancy that's experienced. It feels like we're literally running in place, trying to get somewhere, and it's in these dark night of the souls that we're being afforded the opportunity to rest. We're being afforded the opportunity to address things that we weren't able to address before. We're being put in situations that allow us to be still. Me, for instance, I got COVID. That's how I was forced to be still during this time, and to really think about some things, you know, because when we're not busying ourselves with other things, we have no choice but to go within a little bit, to be with ourselves, right? So that's how the universe kicked me into addressing some wounds. And, you know, it was much needed. Definitely discovered some things about myself that I was not aware of. So that's always important. That's what Chiron in retrograde is all about. You know, digging to the bottom of the barrel and finding those really, really deep-seated wounds. We've been doing a lot of that lately, especially with all the scorpionic energy we've experienced that's now leaving us, right? So with this pressure card, this transformation card, I actually kind of want to read from the book on that one. I'm still getting to know these cards because I don't use them that often, but they're being called to me more and more. You can view pressure as being negative, or you can see it as being a shaper, director, or positive influence. Find a happy medium where you can benefit and not be disadvantaged. So this pressure card, you know, is molding, shaping. This is alchemizing. You are the diamond at this point. And it takes an incredible amount of pressure to create a diamond. So, you know, be thankful that you were chosen to be this precious gem and have this lovely experience. And during this retrograde, with the Seven of Swords, it's like you weren't able to kind of trick the system. There was no way for you to trick the system. There was no way for you to kind of, manipulate the situation. Because this was about growth. Yeah. This is about going inward and discovering where we have regrets, where we have made some mistakes, where we didn't follow our intuition, where we weren't standing in our truth. Yeah, where we weren't strong with that Emperor in reverse, where we weren't taking charge of ourselves, where we weren't in control of our emotions. But I think too, with this Emperor card in reverse, this is addressing a lack of boundaries, because the Emperor energy is all about like authority, keeping order, right? And through this process, you may have felt like you could not keep things in order, which makes sense because you were going through a lot of shifting with the Tower card here. And that's not a bad thing. The Tower card's really actually good energy. Sometimes we need to be shaken up in order to get where we are supposed to be going. If we're not on the right path, we will be put on the right path. And then with this Hearth card, this Comfort, it's addressing relationships where I think we expected more and we were trying to cultivate more. And we weren't necessarily getting exactly what we wanted out of it. There's a small energy that I'm feeling here with this Page of Cups. Yeah, there hasn't been a big return in some of your familial relationships, is what that feels like. Excuse me. It just feels like there's a lack. And from this lack, it's forcing you to kind of remove yourself from some of these familial relationships. And this could even be just really, really close friendships too. But that's definitely what I'm picking up on. Yeah, you weren't being nurtured. Your emotions weren't being honored in some of these relationships. And I think that's what you were being forced to address during this retrograde. So now I want to know, how did we heal the wounds that were addressed? Sorry if you hear any background noise. Apartment living for you. You know what? With this one, what is this one? Dark Night of Soul. We're coming out of a naive energy. Yeah, we're trusting the process, and we're seeing the signs here with this Hierophant. Yeah, there's big lessons were learned here, because you were tired of feeling like your luck was running out or just was non-existent. But this also feels like traveling inward, because this is a higher learning thing. She's holding a book. But this feels like it's like learning that you're in control of your destiny, that you are a co-creator. That's what that feels like. And because of that, we're moving out of this stagnant energy, because you've learned that. That's what that Knight of Pentacles is about, because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest fucker in the whole goddamn deck. Oh, okay. What was this one? I totally forgot. Pressure. being able to trust, learning that we can trust ourselves. That's what that feels like. Yeah. Laying the burdens to rest. This is a surrender that happened. Surrender to the learning, surrender to the knowledge that you were supposed to gain through this period. And it's been cloudy. You felt foggy lately. You might still be feeling that way. Jesus. Yeah, this is learning about ourselves, learning about our pain, learning about the different parts that we've hidden from ourselves. Yeah, this is also about addressing childhood wounds. Definitely childhood wounds with the pressure card. That's all about the transformation. It's learning to integrate our higher self, our inner child, all of that. And connecting with our inner child. And learning how to self-love, self-soothe. No longer reaching outward for that. We're going inward for that now. And then, I keep forgetting what it says. How are we healing our familial issues? Wow. So we got the 10 of Cups. This is an interesting deck because it has a couple cards that are in here twice. So we go into this retrograde thinking that things are perfect, and we realize that things are not exactly how we feel. There's not an even give and take in some of these relationships, right? We're not feeling nurtured. Our emotions aren't being, considered. And now that we're seeing the illusion is gone. The illusion of this being a happy family is gone. And coming out of that fog, coming out of that healing process with that full understanding. And no longer fearing taking control. Ooh. Now, let's see where we are moving. What energy we're coming out of the retrograde with as we station direct. We've got magic, the alchemy card. I've been talking a lot about alchemy. We've got air, the motion card. And then fire, the ignition card. Interesting. So with this magic card, this alchemy, this is quite literally turning our pain energy into power energy. That's exactly what this is. And then with the air card, the motion card, this is us finally moving out of stagnation, finally starting to get the blood flowing again. And I'm calling attention to the fact that it's a 22 card. So it's like we're entering into 2022 with a lot of force. Good God, these cards are so gosh damn jumpy. Stuck. Okay. And then with this fire card, it's a new sense. We are ignited. There is a sense of initiation that's coming through. There's just power. It's like saying that the power energy is the fuel. So it's like the power energy we gained from turning, like the pain energy that we turned into power that's going to fuel us, it's fucking gasoline. It's gonna light this shit on fire. It's insane. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take a look at these ones from the book too. I definitely want to look at the alchemy card. There is a magic to be found everywhere if you look for it. You are the magic. Magic is not a miracle, although it can sometimes feel like it. Doubt kills more dreams than failure. Have faith in your ability. Weave together all the disparate pieces. I don't think that was an accident that I said desperate either. Ooh. For what it is worth, I see magic as a weaving of energy towards a particular purpose in an alchemic, synergistic process. Magic has at its heart participation in purpose. Magic is deliberate change. So that's exactly what we're doing here. We're deliberately changing. We're transmuting, turning that pain energy into power. And then with the air card, the motion card, like I said, it's like we're moving. We're getting the blood flowing again. I mean, this air card is being represented by wild stallions, right? Free, fast, unscathed by, structure or limitations. Limitations is a better word. Structure is not a bad thing, but sometimes limitations are. Be flexible yet grounded. Allow yourself free thought, which is interesting because I was thinking that too. This is kind of giving me like Ace of Swords energy here. Move and choose. Find your freedom. Use your voice resourcefully. Stand up for what you believe in. Be mindful of the way you communicate. Finding your own space and healthy motion is important, and finding your own breath of fresh air will enable you to see things differently, to start anew. So that's super important. And then we're gonna read a little tidbit for the fire card. It's interesting because it's 8, because it's giving me a lot of 8 of Wands vibes. Fast movement, inspiration, fast communication, shifting, all that. And this one says live your passion. Allow your spirit to drive you forward. Don't overthink the situation. Now is the time to innovate and take action. Be a lighthouse for others, or find yourself a mentor. The fire element is the one that motivates and inspires us. It is action-oriented and light. So those who like to utilize the fire element are innovative and quick thinkers, and they get things done. Fire is linked with love and passion and is often used as an element of magic and spells or attraction. So, yes, power plays are coming in. So what power did we gain with the alchemy? Oh, and the wounded healer card comes out. Actually, it's the wounded warrior, but it came out as the wounded healer. Yeah, it's definitely acknowledging that we turn the pain into power. We're no longer stressing over things, no longer feeling bound. We're no longer holding back. And we no longer have a negative relationship with our emotions because of this particular Chiron retrograde. Now we're coming out stronger than ever. Yeah, we've got a fresh start here. We've got a fresh start and we want to make a movement for whatever reason. Hold on here. This is an interesting reading because I don't normally look at these from the book, but there's something telling me that this particular page of Pentacles has something to say from the book. Oh my God. Okay, wow, that was really hard. I could not find that in the book. Wow, okay. That's probably... Why? This is an evolutionary card. That's why it's having me look at it. The Page of Pentacles. It's removing ourselves from being a victim. That's what it's basically saying in here. And kind of coming up with practical plans and ways to make things work, way things happen. So I mean, that goes right along with the motion card here. And then we also pull the Chariot, which is all about victory and motion, movement, success. Yeah, and we're no longer hiding ourselves with that Hermit in reverse. We're coming out hot. Literally. Yep. And we're no longer restricting ourselves when it comes to our passions, when it comes to what really sets our souls on fire. We've learned some lessons. You know, the Devil card is associated with Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn's all about life lessons and karma. So we've learned some lessons. And we're no longer waiting for things to come to us. We're holding the space to create. With that Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse is waiting. Waiting for ships to come in. Waiting for opportunities to arise. And when it's in reverse, it's about us taking them. Yep, Knight of Swords coming in hot. I said it. Knight of Swords is the fastest energy in the entire deck. And I said we were coming in hot. Because we're no longer feeling restricted. We're no longer limiting ourselves. We no longer think that nothing is possible. Now we are seeing that everything is possible. Beautiful energy. So that's what we gained from the pain. That's the power that we gained from it. Now, how are we going to use this to fuel us in the next stage? How are we going to use this to fuel us in the next stage with the Alchemy card? What magic? Ooh, that flew out. No longer being indecisive. No longer being stuck in duality. Choose or lose is what that feels like. We're starting to understand that. Hold on here. I think I only want, yeah. Making dreams come true. Setting out to achieve goals. Setting goals and achieving them. And with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, this is all about manifestations, right? And we're no longer feeling like we don't have the opportunity to make things grow. And that's definitely by design with this Judgment card coming out. Things are balancing themselves out. Everything is by design. So with this motion card, or this air card, this motion card, you're in collaboration. To me, this feels like you're in collaboration, mind, body, spirit. There's a definite level of deep-seated self-connection that's coming, that's bound you together as you come out of this Chiron retrograde. But it also feels like you have some good people on your side too. Yeah, Six of Swords. You're moving forward. You're no longer stuck in reverse. No longer feeling confused about what your path is. Oh my goodness. You're realizing your wounds are now a thing of the past. That's the second time that the wounded healer, I'm calling it the wounded healer, but it's really represented as the wounded warrior. But it's like we addressed it. We turned that pain into power, and now that pain is nothing but the past. It's a distant memory. Not distant, but like it will become a distant memory. Yeah, because we're choosing, we're creating, we're slicing through bullshit. That's that air energy. We're taking on the Queen of Swords energy. That's cutting through the bullshit. That is kicking ass and taking names. It's taking what you want. It's communicating strongly. It's like you're finally saying the things that you never said. Excuse me. And because of this, there will be some strong rewards coming back. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm like hiccuping kind of. Strong rewards coming back with this King of Pentacles. Structure is coming back into play. You're feeling solid again. But you're also feeling like you are about to reap some serious benefits. There's a lot of fruit, and I'm hearing enjoying the fruits of your labors. When we set ourselves free, sometimes that is the greatest gift of abundance that we could ever give ourselves. Ooh. And that's fueling us to move forward because we want, I mean, I always say the King of Pentacles makes me think of Saturn, the Lord of Karma. It's like coming to bearing gifts. It's like this holiday season is bringing lots of gifts, not just in the physical sense, not just in the tangible sense, but also the spiritual sense, also the emotional sense. It's like we're wrapping up this year in such a good, solid place that we have set ourselves up for the greatest amount of success coming forward. We're also moving into Capricorn season. That's, you know, cardinal